Prime Minister's chief bureaucrats laughed off the potential of Antifa violence against the United We Roll convoy. They also treated the convoy like it was a security threat and gave preferential treatment to Antifa on the day the convoy arrived on Parliament Hill. I'll show you all the details and all the proof in my latest Access to Information investigation. In the middle of February 2019, the dead of winter, cold as hell, dozens of truckers left Red Deer, Alberta to bring their concerns to Ottawa. Their concerns were about a broken Canadian Confederation, a Canada that's falling behind, a Canada that can't get pipelines built, and a government that is bringing in legislation that attacks specifically only Canadian oil being exported in tanker ships and not foreign conflict oil being imported in the same kind of tankers. And some of the truckers were also concerned about the crisis at Canada's southern border. All valid. All very mainstream Canadian concerns, as polling demonstrates. Now, the convoy was called United We Roll Convoy for Canada. It was led by Central Alberta businessman and all-around decent, good guy, Glenn Carrott. And because we knew the convoy would be mercilessly attacked by the mainstream media, as Canadians who are critical of Trudeau's government's mishandling of just about everything it touches generally are, at the Rebel, we embedded roving reporter Cian Bexty with the convoy to tell the other side of the story. You can see all of Cian's coverage from inside the convoy at rebelconvoy.com. Now, when the convoy finally got to Ottawa, no one, not a single person from the Liberal government bothered to meet with them. Westerners and their supporters drove thousands upon thousands of kilometers across the country, and no one from the Liberals seemed to care. But at the Rebel, we suspected that a failure to meet with the convoy didn't mean that the government was not concerned about the convoy. So we filed an Access to Information request to see what the government and those bureaucrats, specifically those in the Prime Minister's inner circle, were saying about United We Roll. Almost immediately, once the bureaucrats in the Privy Council office realized that Glenn Carrott and the gang were serious about bringing their concerns and their trucks to Ottawa, the Privy Council office crisis management team started taking the lead with regard to security and intelligence planning. The crisis management team started watching media reports for anything about the convoy, in particular, the bad things that were being reported about the convoy in the mainstream media, like the implication that they were part of some sort of racist, anti-immigrant bunch of wackos. Let's get into some of these emails. On page 26, the Privy Council Office Crisis Management Cell starts sending out emails to all government ministries to warn them about the United We Roll convoy headed into town. Now on page 37, it's the first time we can see mention of a counter-protest to the United We Roll convoy being planned. Security is aware of it and call it a counter-demonstration. It reads, as requested, our research showed a planned anti-pipeline demonstration. Tuesday at 10 a.m. to 1, a counter-demonstration will be gathering at the 45 O'Connor World Exchange Plaza. Now, back on page 21, I could see the emails where United We Roll were getting all the proper permits and coordinating with local officials to do everything they could the right way. No such emails exist here for what the crisis management team called the counter-protest. On page 38, February 17th, in a crisis management cell dossier compiled on both the United We Roll convoy and the potential for a counter-protest, officials downplay the potential of violence from the counter-protesters. It reads, Tuesday at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., a counter-demonstration will be hosted at the 45 O'Connor World Exchange Plaza. A group has released a call for actions on social media. They are asking people to organize in Ottawa and in all the cities along the planned route of the truck convoy from February 14th to 19th. The group will be monitoring the convoy's journey through Canada but have not signaled any plans to intercept the party as of yet. No plans to intercept? Antifa, by then, had already tried to block a Manitoba highway to stop the convoy just one day earlier. Then, in the same dossier, officials call the counter-demonstration anti-fascist, which is, of course, meaning Antifa, a group already known to security officials for assaulting mainstream media journalists and anyone else with whom they disagree, including police officers. It reads, the group is comprised of people who are sympathetic to environmentalist, anti-colonialist, and anti-fascist movements. So let's be clear. The security officials now know it's Antifa. On page 91, an email from William Simmering of the Crisis Management Cell calls Antifa a fun bit. His email reads, I've attached our latest demo info sheet updated last night. The fun bit is the counter-protest is gathering at 45 O'Connor World Exchange Plaza. That's the fun bit that attacked my colleague Cian Bexty and left his equipment broken while police did next to nothing from just a few feet away. These are the same fun guys that attacked Stan, the Toronto Sun photographer, for just trying to do his job. The same fun guys that attacked Tucker Carlson's house while his wife was inside, and also attacked mainstream media journalists in Montreal just a couple of years ago. And that's just a few of the more recent, higher profile violent Antifa attacks, especially on journalists like my friend Cian. The Post Millennial has a longer, more comprehensive list of Antifa attacks, specifically in Canada. Just a fun little bit, hey, I guess it's fun when Antifa shows up to assault conservatives on Parliament Hill. On page 109, we can see the federal government debating over their communications response to the United We Roll convoy for Canada. The government really has no clue who will respond to the thing. Catherine McKenna has been designated as the lead government spokesperson to respond to the convoy, while McKenna's office says it's so he in this email here regarding truck protests and messaging. My understanding is that each department will answer questions specific to their portfolios, but McKenna will be the Government of Canada spokesperson in the House. This feels like a bad idea to me. Anyway, then in a further email, McKenna's office says that, quote, so he is the lead. We can see here on page 112 that part of the media strategy was to present the narrative that the United We Roll convoy was, in fact, racist. This is from the prepared media lines for ministerial offices about United We Roll. So when they're dealing with the media, the Liberals were to say this: we will always support Canadians advocating on behalf of our energy sector. Canadians from coast to coast to coast understand the importance of getting our resources to market. It is essential that this message not be co-opted by divisive language that tries to pit one part of the country or one group of people against another. On page 121, the officials actually black out how many of the fun Antifa protesters there were on Parliament Hill, but thanks to some careful reading on page 172, we can see that they left in the document that there were over 100. And on page 130, we can see United We Roll were kept in the snowy area to make room for Antifa on the clear paved area. It reads, the groups are about to cross paths, pending as the convoy group is about to depart the hill to go back to their vehicles 26 hours. Convoy group is unhappy that they were located in the snow while the paved way is empty from the counter demo not moving on the hill. All in all, this document package we received today was over 200 pages long. It's 10 times longer than the 22 pages we got back in an access to information request about the invite of the alleged violent rapist, alleged possible Taliban sympathizer Joshua Boyle to the Prime Minister's office for that very, very weird photo opportunity. We can also see the Privy Council office thought the potential for Antifa to attack the convoy on Parliament Hill was a bit of a joke. We can see that Antifa was treated better and as less of a security threat to the government and the public than a bunch of concerned truckers from the West who just want jobs and pipelines. But isn't that always the way with this Liberal government? It's just another example of their constant sympathy for the devil. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. One of the best ways to support us here at the Rebel will not cost you a dime. Just like and share our content, tell your friends about us, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.